The time to buy is when there's blood in the streets. That's credited to Baron Rothschild, 18th century, 1700 noblesman, basically saying that the time to buy stocks, the time to buy anything is when people are bleeding. Well, people are bleeding, and yet nobody's buying. Everybody's selling. Even our YouTubers are in panic. Look at some of these faces. These are the people that I subscribe to on YouTube and get guidance. And actually, they're the people who taught me how to do YouTube. And I'm looking at their faces here. Look at the grim. Look at the fear. Look at the, what am I going to do now? Look. Folks, this isn't the end of the world like these people are looking at you. This is a buying opportunity. Watch the talking heads on TV, and they're all saying doom and gloom. Interest rates, inflation, employment, supply chain, everything is going downhill. But history says the one thing we learn from history is we don't learn from history. I want to again go back to a statement made by Wayne Gretzky. You don't skate to the puck, you skate to where the puck is going. Look at this chart. This will give you a picture of history. I want to point out in the chart that place that says flush. Notice that the volume, once the volume gets up to its highest, that's when everybody flushes out and the market turns around. What I want to talk to you about today is when is the flush going to happen and what's going to bring the market around and what should you be looking at buying at this buying opportunity. Again, to quote the Baron, the time to buy is when there's blood in the streets. This is not by any means financial advice. I'm not going to tell you what to buy and when to buy it. This is financial education. Learn from the past. Read. Study. I'm going to talk to you about some books I think you should study that will give you a view of what's going to happen and make you put a smile on your face that I know what's going to happen and I know where to buy and I know what to sell. Okay, let's get to that right after you subscribe.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
So where is the puck going? Well, the puck is going to be driven, as I always say, by events. The events in our life of current importance is the coronavirus. The fact that our economies, our world economy has been brought to its knees by a virus. Now, we found a vaccine for the virus and it's under semi-control, but that's important. That has got people of power saying this can never happen again and how do we avoid it? Well, that will create disruptive change. And what is that going to be driven by technology? What is the cutting edge technology right now? It's artificial intelligence. If you haven't read this book by Henry Kissinger and Eric Schmidt, it's called The Age of AI. It will teach you what artificial intelligence is. It'll follow up on another book that I've read that I think is The Big Nine, which is Amy Webb's. And I don't agree with her Big Nine, but it goes into depth of what artificial intelligence is about. And once you understand artificial intelligence and how it's going to apply to the digital revolution of 3.0, you'll know the stocks to buy, because artificial intelligence is wrapped around big data. And big data is owned by about 3 or 4 companies. They've been collecting the data on you and me for the last 40 years. And now with that data, they're going to empower us to make better decisions. So if we know that, then where do we go to learn about these stocks. Let me take you to Seeking Alpha, and let me just show you about 6 stocks that are going to be in control of the data, which will then implement artificial intelligence and will be the gainers of the future. When I want facts and I want information, I come to Seeking Alpha. I have a premium membership. There's a link in the description that you can get a 50% off your premium membership, and I strongly suggest you do it. So I want to go through and just give you some look at the opportunities that are available. And I want to look at Palantir, Tesla, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Apple, Amazon, and Google. And let's just look at this part year to date. Palantir's down 56%. This is the software company of the future. If you don't believe me, read the people here. Then let's look at Tesla. Year to date, down 41%. Is this going to be one of the primary electric vehicles of our future? Yeah. And it's down 41% year to date. So don't be doom and gloom. This is opportunity. Okay, let's look at Microsoft. And again, we'll look at year to date. Down 25%, rounded off. So this is a company that runs my browser. This is the company that has much of my data. I believe they're on sale. This is NVIDIA, year to date, down 45%. Is this the best semiconductor maker in the world? Are these the people who make the semiconductors that Amazon buys for their database that the gamers use that will be a part of the metaverse? I think so. And it's almost half price. This is Apple, down 26%. Is Apple going to be a part of your future? Are they going to continue to make iPhones? Will they make an electric vehicle? Did Tim Cook say they will be a major part of the healthcare revolution? Yeah. And they're 25% off. So let's smile. Let's be happy that we are in a position today to take advantage of this enormous opportunity. This is Amazon. Are they going away? Will they continue to be your main source for buying stuff on the internet? Of course they will. And this is Google, down 24%, almost a quarter off. Is Google your main search engine? Is it where you go? Is it the number one advertising company in the world? Do they have most of your data for you and probably your car and your children? Yeah. Are they going anywhere? No. So let's smile. Let's be happy that we're here now in the middle of this correction, and that's what it is, mismanagement of our finances. We threw $9 trillion into the market in 8 months, and now we're paying for it. Okay. So let's buy into an opportunity and let's smile. Now, the other thing I think you need to understand is the world is also controlled by demographics. I've explained this a number of times and went into it in quite a bit of detail in my recent video here on China and your stock portfolio. And what it basically says is you've got to have people of the proper age in order to support your economy. You've got to have workers. You've got to have people who are paying taxes. You've got to have consumers. And if your demographic pyramid gets upside down, as it is in many countries such as Japan and China, those economies will fail. And if you understand that, if you'll read the books, I'm right now reading Peter Zion's latest book, The End of the World is Just the Beginning. And he goes into again about demographics and how there is a change of power coming as a result of demographics and the deglobalization of our world. If you understand these things, you know we will find our way out of this, as we have all the way back to when Baron Rothschild said, when there's blood in the streets, it's time to buy. Well, this isn't the first time this has happened. And it's the people who keep their minds intact and understand what is going to happen that survive. Those who panic just give up and go. It's happened before. I have experienced it firsthand and remember it very vividly in the dot-com bubble. And what we're going through is very similar to the dot-com bubble. In 2000, everything that had a .com at the end of it was flooded with capital, much as everything that had EV in front of it in 2020 and 2021 basically was flooded with capital. Anything that said SPAC is flooded with capital. Where are those people who were telling us about the SPACs, all the opportunities that were coming in our future that have now collapsed? And as interest rates go up, we'll file bankruptcies. Yes, the worst is yet to come. But once we get past that, the stocks that I've shared with you, the people who own the data, the people who own who understand artificial intelligence is going to change your world. I did a video that I am so proud of where I explained that Chevrolet is going to try to sell my wife a Corvette. She owns a Porsche now. It's a 2004. Got 94,000 miles. But they aren't going to advertise to her through Facebook. No, she doesn't. She isn't going to respond to Facebook. What she's going to do is they're going to share their knowledge that they acquired from her at the Indy 500 just 3 weeks ago, and they're going to send her an email that's going to be backed up by a video that's going to have all her information. It's going to be presented to her by a 55-year-old woman who's going to show her how easy it's going to get into, and then she's going to dress out the car, and they'll pull it up in the driveway and say, "Are you ready to buy?" That's how we, you and me, Anita, are going to be empowered. They're not going to use Facebook anymore. Facebook is a thing of the past. Mark knows that. That's why he changed the name. He knew his business was passé. My grandchildren do not use Facebook. So Mark's next move is the metaverse. Well, the metaverse isn't going to be here for maybe 5-10 years. So let Mark get his shit in order while we go buy those stocks that are going to change our world in the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years. That's what we need to do. So what I try to do is find opportunities for you. I read constantly. As I said, I'm reading Peter Zion's latest book, The End of the World is Just the Beginning. And that's what you need to do. The other thing I do is search for new technology. I came across Moomoo. Yes, I'm going to mention Moomoo. Moomoo has changed my world relative to the stock market. It used to be I would speak to my phone and say, "What is Amazon stock doing this morning?" And I would get a individual from Yahoo Finance individual chart on Amazon. Now I merely open up my mobile app on Moomoo, and it has every stock that I, in fact, trace or I follow. Let me show you what it looks like on my desktop. This is crazy. This is my E-Trade exposure. Now I want to show you something a little different. This is Moomoo. Over here you see stocks I'm tracking. Here you see the current trading on them. Here you see all the pertinent information on a daily basis, all right here. This is Moomoo. This is the most advanced mobile app. I'm looking at my desktop app, but I have something very similar on my mobile app. Okay. Again, I'm Kerry Grinkmeyer. I'm the host of Best of Us Investors. I try to keep a smile on my face because I think the best that we're going to ever have is in front of us, and it's only about 12 months away. Oh, we're going to get through this, and oh, the toilet's going to flush, and there's going to be a spike. Watch that volume. When that volume hits a spike, that means everybody that is going to sell sold, and they're out. Now, we do have to get interest rates and inflation under control, but that we've been here before. And we've always survived. Again, look at this chart. That's what history looks like. And if you'll study that chart, and if you just do a stop video, take a screenshot of that chart and study it, understand it. We've been here before. Yeah, the dip is substantially greater, but that's because the funny money of $9 trillion in 8 months flooded into our economy, which I just read that 20% of it went to fraud. Come on. Can't we get people in our government that understand how to do things right? Now, I'm not going to get political. Okay. That's my take on what you should be doing today to take advantage of history. There's blood in the streets. And remember what the Baron said. And that goes all the way back to the 1700s. This is nothing new. No. We've been here before. Learn from history and study. Read. Make yourself the smartest guy in the room, and you can't help but win. But if all you do is follow those frowning faces that the world's coming to an end, and then deal with what you get. Talk to you again tomorrow.